Calvin and I and probably about 50 other Park Tool employees are here at Free Bikes for Kids, where there are lots of bikes behind us. There are lots of bikes behind Dane the cameraman. There are bikes being fixed all over this place, and they're going to be going mostly to kids, but also to adults in need.
These bikes have got problems. We're here to solve some problems, and boy, did we see some problems, and we're going to get some dirty hands. Truman, let's go do it.
All right, we're here, 2025 Free Bikes for Kids. We got this beautiful Specialized Hard Rock comp from back in the day. We got a seat, must have come from somewhere else. These brackets here, this is backwards, so it's actually pointed forwards. So we're gonna take this off and we're gonna flip it around. So what you do is you loosen it up. That'll allow you to lift it off of the top. And this is backwards. So what we're gonna do is fully take one of these nuts off. This is the fun part. It's gonna be under a little bit of tension, so I find it easiest to scooch it in there like that. We'll level it off on the ground, but we're gonna wanna make it tight right now. Tighten each side evenly. Boom, we fixed it. It was safe before, but now it's gonna be more comfortable. So, little seat clamp. Quick little tip.
We're fixing bikes, Free Bikes for Kids, lots of stations. This is about systems. We've got cleaners over there, they just clean. This is called prep, and it's very important. It's not the pure mechanical work, it's replace bad tires, we got tread. If it needs grips, it gets grips. Truing wheels, not done here. Adjusting gears, not done here. It's early mechanical work, then they're handed to the mechanics. Why this system? It spits them out. But here's some things. Sometimes you gotta pull the wheel off. With systems, you've got to be following a system. Here's one good thing. This is a workbench. Workbench. Let's have a look down here. This is called the ground. The ground is not a workbench. These tools should be on the workbench. That's your tip from Free Bikes for Kids. Thanks.
The numbers aren't numbering, the math's not mathing. I got this shifter here. So when it's at rest, that's 1 gear. We got 2 gears, 3 gears, 4 gears, 5, 6. 6 is it. But back here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The math's not mathing. So, we up here, we have friction and index. Currently, there's a little dot, and it's on index. We can convert this to 8-speed by just ignoring the indexing and just going to friction. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, I'm gonna just loosen this just ever so slightly there, and I'm gonna take this dial here, I'm gonna move that dot to line up with friction, tighten this back down. Now, turns out, it no longer cares about the math or the numbers, so it works great. So these brake pads, pretty worn, but we don't have new brake pads for all of the bikes here at Free Bikes for Kids. So the unique thing about these pads is they would run a little bit too low on the rim, and so they wore and they developed a step. And what can happen is that step can get stuck on the rim. So what we're gonna do, you take these are kind of nice Stanley files. They have 4 different sides. You got a file, got a flat rasp, a little curved rasp, a little curved file. We're gonna take the flat rasp and we're gonna flatten that pad. And it's cutting on the push, so typically I just do the push. And you can see it's taking down this ridge, but it's also putting texture on what used to be smooth from being used on the rim. So we're gonna rasp that to be all flat. We're gonna now do the other side. Take that down, and that is gonna make our braking more powerful and more consistent and a lot safer. In an ideal world, maybe on your bike at home, you would probably want to replace these pads, go to your local bike shop, order some new ones, get them on the way. We got one of the most satisfying feelings here. See all this buildup on this lower jockey wheel? We're gonna take our small flat screwdriver here, I'm gonna dig that into all this crud and scrape it all away. Oh man, get this chain moving a little bit so we can scrape. Oh my goodness, look at that. Clean that off. That'll help that pulley wheel move, help the chain move more freely. It just feels good getting all that stuff off of there. Fun. Check this out. We've got an epic basket. Look at, you could fit multiple sodas in there, or like probably a doll. And then you got these heart end caps. Oh my gosh, look at these pedals, hearts, super cool. Hold on to your horses. Light up training wheels, come on. So, what is the issue with this bike? There's not a lot to clamp onto on the seat post to get this up in the stand to tune this up. Not a lot of seat post to deal with. Moved on it right there, and there's just not enough room for the clamps that we're clamping here. So we're gonna put that in, put that here. This bike is made out of steel. The paint is already pretty scratched. So what we're gonna do on this one is we're gonna lift it up, bring it over here. Notice we have the jaws on the PCS 10.2. We've got this open quite a ways. It'll open up to 3.5 inches. Put that in here, close the jaws, clamp it down. We've elevated the bike. It's much easier to work on now. We can make sure that the chain is greased, make sure that the axles are tight, make sure the headset is adjusted, make sure this is safe for its new owner.
Let's talk about our feelings in the middle. Hub bearings. This wheel, when it's mounted, you spin that wheel, hey, it's spinning round and round, everything looks good. We pull this out and I turn it with 2 fingers. It's hard to turn with 2 fingers, and I can feel it stops, stops, stops. It is badly adjusted. But that's what we're saying here. You can get a much better feeling when out of the bike than within the bike, because you don't have all this leverage turning it around. Sometimes pull it out to know what it's about.
We're back with the Princess bike here. So this one, this headset, we have this cup and cone adjustable quill headset. You see these knurlings on this lower cone, but then we have the lock nut up top. But there's nothing to hold on to on this one with a wrench for making the adjustment. That's okay. So So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna loosen this top one, and if you watch it, it'll turn that lower one a little bit. You can see it's turning with it, but then that bottom one stops and it doesn't turn anymore. So we'll loosen this. We can loosen this adjustment, and then we'll tighten this back down. But why is it that this does not turn when you tighten this? Well, let's take a peek here. We're gonna take this block nut all the way off, see if we have enough space on this quill stem to give us an example here. So, need a pointer. This fork has a little slot in it, and this washer here has a key, and it keys in. So it prevents these two from influencing each other in how they rotate. So make sure if these are rotating together, it's likely that you have misplaced or lost, or maybe the keyway has stripped out of this washer. So that is how that works.
Truman, let's go do it.
That was a terrible high five.
Okay.
Let's try it again.
Can you cut that in, Joel?